right, guys, welcome back. Figure, we do the good, the bad, the ugly, right? I'm obviously in the barn. I've got the dogs with me. Mr. Hugo's here. Bailey, the king of joy, is here. I'm going to head into the buck stall. A little bit of a trigger warning. The reason I'm heading into the buck stall is to share some stuff that's happened with them. And there will be a little bit of blood. It's not a lot of blood, and it's not active blood. So I just want you to be aware of that trigger warning. And in fact, while I'm giving you the trigger warning, look what I'm seeing here. So we've seen Bob up in the rafters before. But look at what else is up in the rafters. I'm going to have to zoom in real close. That's Shadow, our void cat. I love the fact that she is in the barn. Now, granted, she's up in the rafters, but she's in the barn with the dogs, with me. I'm talking, I'm making noise, and she isn't hissing and she isn't running away. So that's only taken 7 years. All right, I'm headed into the buck stall, and I just thought I'd share with you, for those that can tolerate it. If you can't tolerate it, now's the chance to turn away. And just fast forward a little bit and you'll skip right by it. Figure a minute. We won't spend much time here. But bucks they're boys. Hey guys, get out of the stall, please. You dorks. Boys are boys. And part of the reason that they're boys, and you don't want intact bucks unless you're breeding, is because they do fight. And how do goats fight? They bash their heads against each other. So these guys have decided to take on a spring battle. Phineas was clearly the winner. And if you look at the top of their heads, that's why I can say for sure that Phineas was the winner, right? And this is a little bit old. This happened a couple of days ago now. Thorn's head is perfectly fine. They bloodied up each other's horns. Thorn took the worst of it, so he's got a whole bunch of blood dripping down, but all of that will come off naturally. It's not even a scab, really. It's just dried, clotted blood. The reason I haven't rinsed it off or washed it off is because I want it to stay clotted, right? He busted a scur, and I'll talk about that when I come out. So I want to come out for those that needed to step away. And I need to bring Tonka out of the barn. Tonka, hey, come on. You would think they would listen to me, but they don't. So, all right, if you're back, we were talking about boys fighting. So we disbud all of our goats. It's part of the breed. It happens when the kids are little. You'll see it when kids arrive. We'll do that with you. Just doing a little outside fun. Everybody's exploring. Look, we have some melt. Yay. Let's walk on back to the other side of the barn. So what happens with boys, though, is their testosterone really wants them to have horns. And if you don't disbud well, and it's hard to do, it's almost impossible to do, frankly. But if you don't disbud well, they get what's called scurs. And scurs are really, it looks like a horn, but it's empty. It doesn't have any solid mass inside of it. It's just really an empty shell of a horn. So it's kind of like a hollow fingernail, is the best way to describe it. And they can be fragile. And of course, they do have a blood supply because they're growing, right? That's kind of the problem. That's the issue, right? Is they have a blood supply and they're growing. So when the boys bash their heads against these pseudo horns, these scurs, they tend to break them. And that's what causes all that bleeding. It's no different, and I want to be really clear on this, right? Does it probably hurt them a little bit? Yes, it probably does. But it's no different than if you break a fingernail or you cut your nail a little too close to the skin, right? And it does bleed. And of course, it also is kind of like a head wound. It bleeds, and it bleeds a lot. but it's not a pain that's significant. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it, right? They wouldn't bash their heads against each other if that was causing significant pain, even after they're bleeding. But that'll happen a lot during rut, which is the September-October timeframe, and it'll happen a lot in spring when they're all feeling their oats and they're excited to be loose and free. And especially now with pregnancy hormones, right, starting to rage in the barn, right? We're getting close to due dates. There's, they can smell that. So the two of them went at each other. They decided to have a little battle, and Thorn took the worst of it. He's fine. He's absolutely fine, but I do want to make sure that I share everything with you, right? That was the commitment when I started this channel, was we were going to do, you don't need to see Tonka pooping. That was inconvenient at best. Thanks, buddy. At any rate, I did commit to sharing kind of the good, the bad, the ugly. And so I don't hold back. I don't pull punches. I tell you what's going on and I give you all of it. But I try and also be respectful. And that's why, trigger warning for those that don't want to see it, and a bit of a let's not stand there and stare at it type of thing. Like I said, though, he's fine. And in about a week, maybe less than that, maybe 5 days, he will be perfectly fine. You won't even know it had happened. All that scabby, crusty blood will be gone. He'll rub that off himself. And that is better than me cleaning it off, because me cleaning it off just means that I've removed the clots and they might reopen. I'm just going to come back into the barn and finish it up on a happy note with our rafter cats. That would be Bob over here. And he is really up in the rafters. He's just kind of hanging out above everything. And then over here, again, kind of way up there, but more protected, is Shadow. She's not real happy we're here, but she's also not taking off. And she's got a cobweb on her head, apparently. So way to go, Shadow. All right, I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day wherever you are in this world. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be kind. Check the pinned comment to vote for me and Hunterdon's Happening Best Farm. And I will see you at the next one. Bye for now.